You're listening to Dungeons and Drama Nerds, a podcast exploring the intersection of theater and tabletop role-playing games.
All right, so the party all together, I think potentially for the first time since you all drank together at the Bumblebee Canister, are now headed back to the Bumblebee Canister, the only place where the party can be together. And so yeah, you head on in, and old Susie is tending the desk and is so delighted to see you all come back in. They look around and they go, can we help you today, Captain Holliday?
Yes, do you know if Snow is in?
And Susie's going to point over, and you're going to see Snow seated there talking to two other femmes, one of whom Vance and Ella will immediately recognize as Lily.
Huh.
How convenient.
Susie, you wouldn't tell anyone if I did something a little less than ethical, would you?
Susie will and hold out a hand.
Which room is Snow's?
I'm going to say room 4.
Vector or Sydney, could one of you take a gander?
Yeah, I volunteer.
Okay.
I think, does Sydney recognize Snow as the person who barred? It was dark, but...
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
You were very panicked about your plants.
Regardless, Sydney will go to be further away from people.
Regardless.
Am I looking for something in particular? Probably something more similar to like the Hightown Market knife, or...
I'm also going to put a jingle in Susie's hand in belated response to yes.
And they give you a nice old toothy grin. So what's Sydney looking for? Vector, are you joining Sydney?
I am not. I was going to look at AZ and be like, can you go check out? And I want to turn to Vance and be like, what room was Lily in?
I tell Zier the room that I remember visiting.
7.
Perfect.
Room 7.
I'm going to look at AZ and be like, you should go check out room 7. If Lily was looking for me, I think it's time that she and I had a conversation.
Do you need backup?
Oh, I'm not going anywhere. We're going to do this right here at the bar.
Oh, I just mean, do you want me to go over there with you?
Well, you said you had to talk to Snow, right?
Yes.
So, looks like we've got Sydney and AZ upstairs snooping while we have business meetings.
Wonderful.
All right, so let's start with Sydney snooping on up to Snow's room.
And AZ Honey is with me too, right?
Sort of. You will part ways briefly as AZ Honey heads to another room.
Okay, I will enter Snow's room. Unethically.
Unethically entering Snow's room.
Well, I feel like it's only fair. Someone just barged into my room.
All right, so yeah, you go, what are you looking for? Or how do you conduct this search? What does this look like?
I'm just going to, as delicately as I can, look around to see if there's any trace. Are there traces of someone still staying there, or have they packed up all their stuff, or were they traveling so lightly that they didn't really have anything in the first place?
It looks like there's a couple things folded out. There's a couple books, a map, roll for guilt, a couple writing utensils. Nothing seems to particularly stand out in Snow's room. But I think that's the thing that cues you in, is that for someone claiming to be an arms dealer, there is a suspicious lack of arms in this room. Right.
Vance mentioned that Snow was an arms dealer, and yet, like, there's just maps, books. Are there clothes anywhere? Like,
there's a small suitcase with, like, some clothes in it. Yeah, but otherwise, everything is fairly nondescript.
If I take a quick look at the map, or in, like, rifling through the books, are, like, any pages marked, or is there anything on the map that's, like, denoted by some sort of...
You see... Oh, I'll give you 2 things. So as you're looking through the clothes, I think something you do notice is a big cloak. The other thing being, on the map, you see that there is sort of the location of the fadeaway surrounded by the junkway, and then there's a couple X's sort of locked out in the Elysian field, and a couple like dotted lines going into the fadeaway at different points.
So I'm assuming I recognize the cloak, then.
The cloak you recognize, certainly.
Okay. I think that this is the person that came into my room. Which makes me feel even less bad about doing this now. I think I'm going to look a little bit more purposefully into the room and see if I can dig anything up. Otherwise, I'll probably join up with AZ Honey after that.
Great. So, is there a move you might have about searching into the room?
Well, there's things speak, so I can figure out, like, I felt like nothing in here was particularly interesting, which was what made the room stand out a little bit.
Right, and that was very purposeful on my part. I think as you search through them, I think the thing you're most startled by is that for an arms dealer, there are no arms. That map marks off a couple places in the Elysian Fields, but there's nothing else. There's like no correspondence, no keys, no jingle, no...
Like none of the books are ledgers or...
None of the books are ledgers.
Okay, so like almost nothing personal in the room at all.
Almost nothing personal. It's like this person does a very good job of not being a person.
Kind of envy them almost. But so Sydney will head out with that information in tow.
Great. AZ, you're going to go into Lily's room, and I think you're going to notice something very much the same. I think it's mostly clothes, and a wide array of styles of clothes on top of it, like almost like an outfit for every occasion, as it were. And you, I think something of note you pop in is there are even different color contacts. Like, this person seems to specialize in changing their appearance a little bit. You see lots of makeup and lots of, contouring. So maybe Sandra Oh isn't even her real face, because if the men find out she can shapeshift, they're going to tell the church.
Great. I also want to notice if there are any other exits or entrances to the apartment other than the one I came in.
There is a window, and it's sort of like, it looks like it's bars, but when you go up to push it, the whole thing just kind of swings out.
Great. Good to know. I want to do some more snooping. Is there like a desk or anything that might hold papers or correspondences?
Yes, there is, but you don't see any papers or correspondences in them.
I'm trying to figure out what I do to search deeper.
I mean, it's pretty difficult. What are you looking for? Is there anything you're looking for in particular?
I'd love to look for... Well, I also don't know, like, what kind of forms of identification exist in this world. Like, do people have any kind of, like, passport or ID?
Well, let's say to get into a hold, you typically need some form of ID. Like, maybe not like a photo ID, but like, papers, like a passport, let's say, is a good thing to have to get around the fadeaway.
Yeah, but she'd probably have that on her person, I would imagine.
Those are pretty... I would say all of you keep yours pretty close, because that is the only form of identification you have. But I'll give you this then. As you're sort of looking around, you find another little backpack. Oh, no, you know what? Let's make you roll. Roll plus sharp. Just give me a straight sharp roll.
Okay. I've got a 8.
8. I think that'll do it, if we're going off of DC systems. So as you're looking around the room, one of the sort of briefcases does catch your eye, and it is locked tight. Like, you suspect that this is one of those big old key mechanisms.
Is there any way to break into it without destroying it?
You're always welcome to use force. But off the top of your head, like, you figure as you're looking at this briefcase, if you were to open it with anything other than the key, it would probably break. You'd probably have to break it.
Ugh. Okay. Guess I gotta break it.
All right, so yeah, you go ahead and you break it open real quick, and out come tumbling several passports, many of them blank, but many of them with all faces that are similar to Sandra Oh's, but all of them different in small ways. The eye shape is different, the cheekbone structure is different. Hair is always different, and like just enough detail change from one to the next that you can almost see like a progression. It's like, I changed this one thing and then this one thing and I'm someone else. And you see names like Kim and Isabel and like LaRoe. There's so many different names there, and even genders. There's several marked non-binary. There's several marked male, even. But they all have that sort of base similarity to them.
Great. Are there any that are specific to Speakeasy that I should remember?
There are the one that is most specific to Speakeasy is the name Isabel Moreau.
Isabel Moreau. Great. Cool. I'm going to shuffle those papers back into the briefcase once I've had a look through them. Is there anything else I'm looking for? No. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to shuffle the papers back into the briefcase and try to put it back as I found it as best I could.
You place a broken briefcase back under the bed.
I sigh, and is there a sheet of paper and a pen anywhere around?
Sure, why not?
Yeah, can I just write a quick, sorry, you get it.
Yeah.
Or like a no hard feelings.
Yeah.
And a little doodle of an egg.
Perfect, sure.
Oh my gosh, make it like a cracked egg.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanna leave that on the briefcase. She's gonna know. I'm not hiding anything. I'm gonna place that on the briefcase, and and I guess that's my search.
I guess, side note, have we brought Borug with us? Like, is Borug with Vance and Vector
that's
currently?
I think Borug is with Vance and Vector currently downstairs.
Okay.
Great.
And he's not going to approach the table. He's going to sort of hang back with old Susie.
Makes sense.
We'll shift on over to the V names. Vance and Vector, you are approaching the table where Snow and Lily are currently engaged in conversation. And they look up at you, both of them look up at you, and they sort of smile. They go, hello, can we help you? Oh, Captain Vance, I was looking forward to our meeting today.
I thought maybe we could move it up to right now.
Certainly. I have got nothing on my schedule at the moment.
Wonderful. Could we speak privately?
Certainly. Lily here. Are you good talking? If you're good if I leave you be forbidden, Lily nods, and Snow goes, right, well, let's go find a private booth then.
Sounds good.
Lily is looking up at you, Vector, with a smile on her face.
I sit down without asking, also smiling, and I'm like, I heard you were looking for me. Let's chat.
You saved me the trouble. So let's start with Vance. So we'll take Vance and Snow over to the little private booth, a little more secluded than the rest in the Bumblebee canister. And Snow goes, so you're looking to let me set up a stall here in the market, yeah?
Sure. Well, first of all, I don't want to skip over pleasantries. How do you know Lily? How are you?
Lily and I are old friends. We used to run a stall together for in Hightown Market for a bit. We've performed a few times in Speakeasy. We've been all over the place.
Oh, wonderful. What kind of performing?
Mostly singing.
Oh, wonderful.
A little drunk ballad here or there. I heard back in the day they called it karaoke.
They sure did. Well, that sounds delightful.
How are you? How's your morning so far?
It's been a little strange, I have to admit. My very good friend was attacked last night.
Really?
Yeah, and I'm keeping just an eagle eye on her face.
Go ahead and roll to read a sitch.
Oh boy. Ooh, that's plus sharp, right?
Yeah, plus sharp.
That's a 12.
A 12, yeah, you can hold 3. So when you're interacting with her, you can ask any of these 3 questions one for one. So Snow smiles and says, well, or doesn't smile. She says, oh, I'm very sorry to hear that. Is your friend okay?
He's okay. We're having a little bit of trouble tracking down who did it. There's been quite an influx of new folks here recently.
I mean, I just came in here yesterday myself on Troca.
Yeah, are you acclimating well? Are you feeling welcome?
There's a bit of a bar fight last night, but otherwise, I'm liking it so far. Seems a place where someone can really strive to be the best version of themselves,
Sure.
Perhaps I'll get out of the arms game and try something else.
Perhaps singing.
You never know.
Can I ask, what's your care? What are they really feeling?
There. You can get, it's not very evident, but you can tell they're a little nervous and on their guard.
Okay. So does that mean you're not committed to putting up a stall then?
Well, I need to make the jingle before I pursue another career. I've got a nice supply line over to Hightown Market where I can get some of the weapons in from there.
Is that where you're from originally, or?
Not originally, no.
But you still have a lot of friends over there?
A lot of friends there, yeah, for certain.
I don't know if you knew, but that's where I'm from.
Really?
Yes, I did quite a bit of accounting over there for certain merchants.
Ah, yes. I mean, you don't mind me asking, did you enjoy accounting?
I did for a time, and then as you can see, I've moved on.
Well, I'm not good with the numbers myself. Hightown was a very interesting place. Great for commerce, great for business, great for meeting people and making connections, but this place seems a bit more my speed.
So you're just looking to make some money and settle down?
Old professions. You need to die off, but got to make the money to do that.
Could I ask you a question that might seem rather pointed?
I might give you a pointed answer in return.
That's only fair. Do you happen to have any old professions that are perhaps related to, but not exactly under the purview of an arms dealer?
Well, I do have a history of violence. That is, but which of us doesn't?
Well, I don't, and that's not something I welcome in my hold in particular.
I see.
In particular, I don't tend to welcome people who commit senseless acts on behalf of others purely for money or for sport.
Senseless acts, you say? Well, that's good to know, especially if I'm looking to stay here. I don't want to go upsetting any of your rules,
I'm gonna ask another question. What does Snow intend to do?
So that's a very broad question. What does Snow intend to do? I think Snow intends to get out of this conversation without a conflict.
Okay.
I think at some point it would be good for Sydney to walk down from his observations of Snow's room, and probably at the tail end of Vance's conversation.
Sure thing. So we'll say there may be another quick exchange, and then Sydney can appear.
I have one more question before we do one more exchange. But how could I get Snow to confess?
I think if you were able to provide hard evidence that she was the assailant, then she probably would fold.
Okay.
And speaking of hard evidence, then.
Yeah.
At this moment, then, because it's dramatically interesting story-wise, that Sydney comes down the stairs and sees you two in a booth.
I'll look over and I'll say, "Oh, Sydney, join us. Snow, this is my very good friend Sydney."
Oh, we know each other perfectly well. This is the person who came in, who broke my window and tried to steal my plants.
I beg your pardon. I'm not in the business of stealing plants.
Yeah, you're an arms dealer or something, but I went into your room just like you went into my room, and I didn't find any arms. Not a single arm. There were like books and a map, but none arms.
But none arms, you say? Well, that is quite unfortunate, but I suppose it's fair, a one for one. If I broke into your room, then you break into mine. And she'll look over at you, Vance Holliday, and say, "I am in fact the person that stabbed your friend, but only because he got in my way."
What were you trying to do?
My target was that big fellow over there. And she sort of head gestures over to Borug.
That I had gathered, but who gave you the assignment?
It's a contract on one of the bounty boards. As I wasn't lying when I said I want to leave old professions behind, but I've got to make the money to do so. When you've got a particular set of skills, you've got to use them. So I tracked Borug on Troca. He popped in here and wanted to come here anyways. But
this isn't behavior I accept in my hold.
She goes, "Well, then I suppose we're at an impasse."
Then I suppose you'd better leave.
Ooh.
She nods and she says, "All right then. If that's how this has to go, I'm sad to say it. That's how it goes. Thanks for your hospitality while I was here."
Of course. And I will wait for her to leave.
Yeah. She's gonna sit there and finish her drink.
Then we will sit in deeply uncomfortable silence.
Oh yeah, and relish in it. Hammer, Vector, and Lily. Lily's smiling at you. It says, "Hello, Vector."
Hi, Lily, is it?
It is. I see my reputation precedes me.
Yeah, when you start interrogating my employees, I tend to find out pretty quickly. So, couple questions. One, what's your real name?
My real name? You can call me Lily.
That's not actually an answer. See, you didn't say my name is Lily, you said you can call me Lily. So, let's try that again. And I'm going to take the knife, the whip knife that I have, and put it on the table. And I'm going to be like, let's try this again. What is your real name?
And she just sort of nods and says, "Read between the lines, darling. You can call me Lily."
Can I read a person?
Sure.
All right, let's see how this goes. That is plus cool. That's a 9.
A 9, so you can ask 1.
And that is a highlighted stat, so marking exterior improvement. Can I hold it for a sec? I'm gonna
Yeah, you can absolutely hold it.
And I'm like, great, Lily. Mind telling me what the fuck you were doing at Troca last night?
I had some questions for your subordinate, Hazy Honey.
About my relationship with Vance.
Yes.
Wanna fill me in on why you were asking those questions?
A curiosity. Troca is an urban legend, is it not, in the Fadeaway? Why is it so popular here, Temptation? Is there an arrangement you have beforehand? Call it a professional curiosity.
And what profession is that, Lily? And I'm gonna take the knife and just casually slice dashes in the table.
Oh, property damage.
Yeah, whatever. Old Susie will deal with it.
She doesn't seem terribly fazed by the threat of violence. But she says, "Why the same as yours, is it not? You're in the game, are you not? Of information, of secrets."
Oh, so you were just here to get secrets.
It's just answers.
Who were you getting secrets for?
Why do you want to know?
I think if anyone is doing digging into me, I think I have a right to know.
Do people often dig into you, Vector?
Yes, people often do.
You are fascinating. You draw the attention of many. Is it so surprising that people want to know more about you and your operations?
It is when I've been told that those people come from Speakeasy, or when I've been told that those people come from Hightown Market, or when I've been told that those people come from many, many different places. It seems like you are not being honest with everyone here. And information isn't useful unless it's honest. So, how could I get your character to tell me who they work for?
How can you get your character to tell me who you work for? I think Lily is very tit for tat. I think you do need to offer up something first.
Great. Shit. I don't know what information I have that is juicy enough. Hold on, look at the list of secrets I have. Give me a second.
So she'll help you out here. She goes, "If you want to know that, tell me your relationship with Vance Holliday."
It's not as nefarious as you think.
Nor are my intentions.
Great. I think that Vance is brilliant. I think that Vance is one of the smartest people I know. And they are innovative. I disagree with their principles sometimes. The rigidity of temptation. But that's okay. I also think that they have great stories. They're kind of like a godparent to me.
And Lily goes, "Well, that's lovely. Well, if you must know, this is an information gathering mission for Jacqueline Phan in Hightown. I am from Speakeasy originally. I am not banned from there. I have I am on good relations with your cousin, Dakota."
Well, that makes one of us, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. But I go where the jingle is, where the keys are. And so who hires my services? gets the information they're looking for. This was, again, we are not plotting anything against temptation. We are not plotting anything against Troca. Merely trying to fill in the questions. There are questions being raised about this place. It is new, it is tantalizing, it is fresh. Everyone wants to know.
And I understand that. It just seems a bit odd that that would then culminate in someone getting stabbed.
Ah, yes. That actually I have nothing to do with.
Oh, so it's just your friend over there?
Oh, yes, my friend Snow. She and I, well, we both work for many employers.
Well, I didn't have confirmation of that yet, so thank you so much for that information. This has been such an enlightening chat.
She goes, "It is a pleasure to meet you finally, Vector."
I wish I could say the same, and I'm going to get up and walk over towards Snow.
And as you're walking down, AZ Honey appears as well, coming down the stairs.
I want to signal to AZ and just, give a, come with me kind of gesture.
Great. I go with you.
And so Vector and AZ now approach where Sydney, Vance, and Snow are all sharing a drink.
Oh, we're all staring daggers. We're just like, this drink is delicious, but I hate the person across from me right now.
Is Sydney saying that out loud? Because that is not out of character for...
Oh, no, he definitely is saying that out loud.
Vance is very reclined, just chilling, but then they'll turn and be like, "Oh, Vector, how did your meeting go?"
It was great. Got confirmation that Snow here was the one who broke into Sydney's lab and stabbed Barug and Sydney. So, Snow, I'm going to recommend that you put your drink down.
It's been taken care of. Don't worry.
We see, the knife in my hand, lower. And I'm like, right, of course, great.
Snow smiles up at Vector and says, "Well, thank you for my time on Troca. I suppose I'll be heading out now then, now that you've resolved your business as well."
Could I ask you one more question?
Of course.
I don't suppose you could tell me if you know who posted the bounty for Borug?
Unfortunately, no. And it's sort of a professional courtesy not to reveal it, even if I did know.
I thought it was a profession you were leaving.
I haven't left it yet. I still need to make the key.
Fair enough. Well, if you change your mind, you know where to find me.
Goes, I do question the contract, though, if that helps any. And Borug's name wasn't the only one on that list. There's several other former Junkway deserters who are all on the bounty boards right now. She looks over and goes, "I specifically didn't take yours because, well, even though I knew I was going to be on Troca, Ruby Honey is not someone anyone wants to mess with quite easily."
Thanks.
But your name's on the board, just so you're aware.
I appreciate you telling me.
There's a reason, I'm sure, but I don't know what it is. She'll finish her drink, stand up. You'll see as Lily stands up as well, and they both head on upstairs to their rooms to grab their things. It's not too terribly long before you see them packed up. Lily will wave your drawing at you, AZ, and tuck it into her broken briefcase.
I blow a kiss back.
Mm-hmm. And the two of them will head out. Snow will look over at Borug and sort of give a curt nod, and he'll give a curt nod back before moving over to join you all.
I say, "Hey, bud, we got bounties."
That is not surprising.
Is it not for you? Because it was for me. I've been on good behavior.
I don't think it's a behavior thing, to be quite honest. Something's going on here. I mean, are you just letting them leave?
Vance?
I mean, I did ask Snow to leave. There's not really much I can do aside from cast them out.
Vance doesn't like spilling blood.
I simply won't do it. Whatever you do outside of this hold is your business.
Does the name Isabel Moreau mean anything to anyone?
Vector, I think as you go back through, you've heard of Isabel. You know that Isabel is probably Dakota's top information gathering agent. It's how Dakota keeps tabs on people all over the fadeaway.
No, never heard the name before.
Great. Me neither.
Yeah, and so,
Wait, can I read Vector real quick?
yeah, you can go for it. But remember, it's 1 for 1, so Vector will be able to ask you something back too.
Great. 13.
All right, so you have 3 of those questions, and Vector, you should answer them.
Will do.
Let me scroll on down. Yeah, is your character telling the goddamn truth?
Absolutely not. My character's fully lying to you. But I want to like give you as you like look me in the eyes, like there's like a twinkle, and it's like clearly like I'm not telling you because I don't want Vance and Sydney to know. I will tell you more when we are in private. I'm trying to communicate all that with just eyes without saying anything out loud.
Awesome. What does your character wish I would do?
Divert focus from me. Put it on anyone else.
Okay, I'm gonna hold my last one.
Yep. So easy. How do you divert attention away from Vector, from Zier?
So I think now's a great time to get Troca moving.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. I would love it if we could just keep an eye on our 2 friends and see which direction they head out of town.
Mm-hmm.
Just in case Troca happens to be moving in the same direction.
Oh, so soon? Oh, I haven't gotten to get packed yet. Man, getting stabbed really put a damper on my schedule.
We might have to hold off on the American University trip for a moment or so. I just want to make sure we handle this situation first.
Do you mind if we tag along?
Are you going to be cool if we handle things my way once we're outside of Temptation?
I suppose I must.
Then sure. Tag along.
Wait, Barug, you staying or going?
Barug says, I'm not looking forward to going back on Troca. I'd like to try and set up a home here first. I will clean up Sydney's lab and try and start making a home for myself.
All right. You might want to consider staying in another apartment at least for a few nights. They know where they're going to find you.
Violet can get you set up.
Violet can get me set up. I will look into it. Is there anyone I perhaps could hire for protection, maybe?
Talk to Chogan in the armory.
All right.
Take some of my carnivorous and poisonous plants also.
As I don't know how to handle those, I would rather not be eaten by plants.
There's an instruction manual, and they're all organized in alphabetical order and then also from most to least dangerous, but they're all also inside the closet, so it's, except for the ones that I rolled at Snow. Those ones are definitely outside, and you should watch out for those.
When you come back, we will set them up in your apartment again. I look forward to moving in with you once you come back.
Okay.
Vance, if Baruch isn't coming with us, I don't think it would be the worst idea for us to have a little bit of extra muscle. Is there anyone that you could grab from the force to come with us? A couple extra sets of hands.
Sure, this might be a great opportunity for our new recruits to get some practice, since we have AZ and all.
That sounds excellent to me. AZ, what do you think?
Sounds great. I'm happy to show some new blood the ropes.
So, Sydney, you need to go pack. Vance, if you want to grab those soldiers. And then, AZ, do you want to head back to Troca with me? I just want to touch base on a couple quick things before we hit the road.
Sure. Who are we sending to follow Snow and Lily on their way out? Just to make sure they're going the right direction.
I want to signal over to the bar where one of the more blendable sex workers is. And I'm going to be like they're in the middle of chatting up someone. And I'm going to signal and be like, go, follow, lots of hand motions to keep an eye.
Give you a face and then head on out after Lily and Snow.
I blow them a kiss and then start walking away towards Troca.
Is zaddy an appropriate term?
It can be. I think Vector is cool with like all like gendered terms of affection. I think like
one that started with a Z.
Zaddy.
So I was like, sure, Zaddy, and off they go.
I'm gonna go talk to Chogan again for like the 4th time today.
Chogan is like, any word on the investigation? All right, we've come up empty on our end.
I found who it was, and they've been asked to leave. But we're pursuing them and a couple of other suspicious characters out of Temptation and out into the fadeaway. We could use some extra muscle. I was thinking perhaps Dancer and Eagle could get some field time.
Sure. How many of us do you want to stay back here versus how many you want to take with you? So basically, what it'll be is as you select your team, you may choose one of these 3. Chogan, Haru, or Rita to stay back and lead your home forces. So choose one of them to lead. Mm-hmm. And then those are your sort of lieutenants. And then of your gang here, go ahead and choose 4 to stay behind. So it'll be a leader and 4.
Are the ones who are staying in Temptation?
Yeah.
Okay. Haru will stay behind. They'll stay with Zero, Seraph, Archangel, and Rogue.
Great. And then the rest are coming with you.
Rest are coming with.
So I'll make that note.
Beautiful.
So with you will be Wraith, Blank, Talon, Blazer, Shepherd, Saber.
Could not deprive Shepherd of an opportunity.
Right? And Dancer. All right.
Poor Shepherd just wanted a day off. Shepherd's been like, I've wanted a day off for weeks.
Stuck with Vector some more. All right. So you have your gang with you, with Chogan and Rita. So Chogan and Rita will simply just count as part of your gang, but they are you lieutenants. So when you issue orders, they will carry them out to your team. Sydney, you pack up anything you might want?
Yeah, so I'm going to do it pretty quick since we're kind of in a hurry to get out of here. So I'm going to pick up a couple of saplings that need a little bit more attention. I'm going to leave the rest of the info on how to take care of all the plants to Violet, who I assume has done this many times before whenever I go out with Troca.
And Violet is going to say something strange to you, almost just be like, oh yeah, I'll just hand it off to Dax.
You do that. Yeah. Okay. And then, so we'll just pick up a couple plants. He'll pick up his net shooter, the night vision goggles, and a couple other small things, like maybe some like vials of like the more dangerous poisons. But that's about it. To kind of set himself up in like a mobile small workstation on Troca.
Great. AZ, what are you doing to prepare?
Yeah, I'm gonna have a little chat with Vector real quick to figure out what all that was about.
All right, well, chat away. As you two, I think, are strolling back to Troca from the Bumblebee canister.
So, we gonna wait until we're on the train for you to tell me the truth, or are you gonna do it now?
I just didn't want to say it in front of Vance and Sydney. Isabel Moreau is a close employee of my cousin. She is the number one information gatherer from Speakeasy. You know that I left Speakeasy on bad terms.
Yeah. Why don't you want Vance and Sydney knowing that?
I worry that my relationship with Speakeasy is going to jeopardize my relationship here at Temptation. I like this port too much to have Vance not invite me back anymore.
All right. That's your decision, but I feel like they're gonna find out the deeper we get into this. At this point, we're all in it together. And the longer you keep the truth from them, the more that's gonna damage your relationship.
I don't think I say anything. I think I just like keep walking.
Yes. All right. Anyone else need anything to prepare before Troca takes off for AU?
I was thinking about diverting that course, if everyone's okay with it. I think if we're trying to deal with the situation of the hit out on AZ and Barug, we should probably go to the Junkway and go see my old friend General Yang.
All right.
AZ's not going to be a fan of that when they hear those plans.
I am assuming Sydney is not going to hear those plans until after we've started moving.
AU's the second stop. It doesn't make sense geographically in DC, but AU's the second stop.
Yeah, we're hopping Red Line to Metro Center to take the Orange Line to Roslyn.
And then getting back to Metro Center, another red line.
Hop up to AU
To Tenley Down.
You all can always vote democratically as a group. I am ready to go in whatever direction you want.
Yeah, I think as far as I'm concerned, like those two immediate threads are pretty like wrapped up. And yeah, like I think we need to figure out the hit, and I think we need to figure out why Jacqueline Phan cares. So like Vance wants to go to Hightown Market.
Yeah, I think Sydney acknowledges that if he's going to take one full round on Troca, it means like many stops, not just the one that he really wants to go to. So, and of course, there was just a hit taken out on one of his most trusted friends, AZ Honey, and now Barug.
I do not want to go to the Junkway.
Vance is going to pitch Hightown Market.
So you'll have 3 options as a group. Which one would you like to take?
We actually have a 4th option that I want to put on the table, too.
Oh my God.
Okay.
I propose that on our way out of Temptation, we conveniently go in the same direction that Not Lily and Snow went, and we make sure that that threat is neutralized permanently.
Vance doesn't like that. But also they literally just told you that they would be fucking cool, so they're not going to say anything.
I'm willing to take out Snow since they hurt my friends, but I don't see any reason to hurt Lily.
Yeah, yes, Vance is fully not on board with, because Lily didn't do anything.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same place. They're just working together, so I assume that if we fight Snow, Lily's not going to go down easy. But I'm fine with it. Or go over easy if we're going egg leitmotif.
Hey.
I think Sydney is a little... offended isn't the right word, but he's a little upset that, like, his research wasn't the target. So he's like kind of okay with this, but he is going to defer to Vance as usual.
Think Vance is essentially like, don't say anything more about it and do whatever you want. As long as we can go to Hightown Market. Also, wait, yeah.
How are we following them in a train? We're just like a slow train driving beside them.
With a demon in the front.
Yeah, we're kind of conspicuous.
Okay, good point. All right. As you bring that up, I'm like, okay, well, we have eyes on them, and we'll just take care of that situation later. So, Hightown Market?
Hightown Market.
Hightown Market.
Dungeons and Drama Nerds is produced by Todd Brian Backus, Percy Hornak, and Nick Orvis, and is mixed and edited by Anthony Sertel Dean. Irremediably Home, our Apocalypse World campaign, features JonJon Johnson as the writer and master of ceremonies, Percy Hornak as Vance Holliday, TP Huth as Vector, Ella Mock as AZ Honey, and Dex Phan as Sydney Thorpe. Find us on Twitter and Instagram at DN Drama Nerds, and on Facebook at Dungeons and Drama Nerds. For cast bios, head to our website, dungeonsanddramanerds.com. Tune in next week for a new commentary episode.